Good evening, everyone. This is Henry Gambell with SimplerOptions.com, and in today's free video I wanted to take a look at a couple of earnings that are going to be coming out, two of them this week and then one that's going to be a little bit further. The two that are due out this week are actually two of my favorite charts, and while that does not mean that they are guaranteed to do anything in particular, they just fit these patterns very cleanly, and they're something that we've been able to follow in seasons before for some pretty good results. So as we look at Google here getting ready to fire to the long side, is this a little extended? Yes. Is it extremely bullish? Yes. And I'm looking for Google to move in a way very similar to what it did to this report here. Now do not go out and put too much risk on this. Treat this just like any other trade. But when you see something like this with that type of a result, it makes you kind of curious if this is going to provide something similar. So if you want to look for some intraday setups on that in Google, it's a little tricky because I think the best way to play it is a directional call. That's tough because those tend to be expensive, but at least it puts you on the right side of implied volatility. If we want to look to something that is a little bit cheaper, Starbucks has a very similar pattern, and they too are due out on Thursday. On this, I think you've got a fairly nice chart pattern, and you also have a weekly squeeze that I'm looking for pretty much the exactly the same thing. Now, I don't know that Starbucks will push to new highs, but as of now, they're looking at about a $5 expected move. I always think it's interesting to find these situations where if the expected move can take you right into those previous highs, if it can clear it on the back of a squeeze, those can be some really fun moves to participate in. So look for the two of those more from a, into Thursday, into the report type setup, and then one that is not due out for a little bit further, but something that I think will have opportunity into Thursday is Tesla. So on Tesla, if we come back down into the daily chart, this is mainly where I like the way it's held the pullback into this low around 243. That was made at some rough symmetry and basically just the key low. So as long as this can stay intact, drop that into your hourly chart and notice how you've got the hourly shows the squeeze that is still coiled. And if you have any question about the way that this one's going to fire, not that we know for sure, but I do like taking the time frame that is just above it, in this case the 2 hour, seeing that the squeeze is actually confirmed long and is still bullish. Then you drop down into the 1 hour chart, and this all looks good for a continued push. Now I'd be careful with this one, and personally I wouldn't play it for a push to new highs. I would just play it for a push to something like an extension of these swings, because you don't want to be in that group of people that are going to see this and think it's going to break to new highs before earnings. Think about what happened with that type of thought process for Facebook here recently. So play this for an intraday move, look to get a pop off of the hourly squeeze, and then be good with it. So those are some of the things that I'll be looking at in the days ahead. I also want to make you guys aware of the next webinar that John's going to be doing. So this is a free class that he's going to be doing on Tuesday, April 19th from 7 to 8 Central. And it's going to be a review of some of the latest stuff he's been using with the scanning tool. So we've had this up for a while. It has seen some improvements. Obviously, it's kind of the plan, and it continues to be one of our favorite tools as far as web-based scanning goes. So if that's something that interests you, you'd like to see what John's been up to here lately, you will have a link where you can join us on that tomorrow night. I hope to see you there.